The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
I appreciate you all being here this afternoon. First, I'd like to thank you for being here to celebrate with us the launch of the UMass Dartmouth free tuition program, which is part of the UMass system-wide initiative to offer free tuition for Massachusetts students with family incomes of $75,000 or less. That's an applause line. I'd also like to thank some of the notables in the room with us today. Senator Michael Rodrigues, Representative Pat Haddad, I believe the aide, Carly Medeiros is here. Hi, Carly. Good to see you here. And Principal Jessica, do I pronounce it Steffens or Stevens? Stevens, okay. Thank you, by the way, Jessica, so much for hosting and giving us the ability to use the facility here this afternoon. This is a great day for working class families in Massachusetts, and I couldn't be more excited. As many of you know, if you've heard me speak before, I'm a first-generation college student myself. And so giving access to higher education to students is incredibly important to me. It's been my life's passion. I went to public grade schools, high schools, and public college, and it really allowed me and my brothers to make a dramatic change for not only ourselves, but for our families as well. So this is incredibly important, and it was really facilitated by the commitment of the Healy-Driscoll administration and our legislative bodies in the Mass Grant and Mass Grant Plus programs. So combining those along with obviously Pell eligibility and some university commitment to this project, we're able to bring that tuition dollars down to basically zero for those students that qualify. So we're extremely, extremely excited about that. When I thought about where would be a good place to do this, honestly, as I told Jessica, the first place that came to mind is Durfee, because I love this school. I mean, we're surrounded by great communities on all sides, but this is such a well-designed and thoughtfully designed school that serves so many students that come to our campus. This was a great place to make the announcement. So again, thank you, Jessica, for having us here. I know we've had a very strong partnership with you. I think we have over 70 or 80 students or so right now in our early college program that we're working with here. So early college, dual enrollment, key ways for us to facilitate a pathway into our institution and again make it possible for those students to get a great education. I think this free tuition program is going to make that even easier to do. We're bundling everything up. We're going to have a very streamlined admission process because, again, sometimes for first-generation college students, and again, I experienced it myself, college can be a bit of a mystery. And there's many types of financial aids. How do you apply for them? What are the deadlines for doing it? When do you apply? When do you get in your classes? And so we're going to try to streamline all of that and really make this very accessible to the students that we're trying to reach. So they'll be getting individual attention from faculty in all of our areas, all of our professional schools, and our liberal arts, nursing, business, engineering, etc. So I think that's all I have to say. I would like to give an opportunity for Senator Rodrigues maybe to come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Chancellor. Good afternoon, everyone. It's great to see my colleague, Representative Pat Haddad, here, and all of you. Chancellor, thank you and the entire UMass system for engaging in this initiative. We spend a lot of time in the legislature addressing three big issues in Massachusetts: affordability, our competitiveness, and our equity. And by providing this free, and I say free with a, we know free is not free. It just means somebody else is going to pay the tab, but this is an amazing investment. We are very concerned in Massachusetts about the amount of student debt that kids are graduating undergrad with. Hundreds of thousands of dollars, and whether it's this program at UMass, whether it's what we've done at our community colleges by offering community college free for all Massachusetts residents, will ensure that Massachusetts is more affordable, it's more competitive, and it's more equitable. We often talk about this out-migration in Massachusetts, and it's not the out-migration of those older retired individuals, especially people with some disposable income. They've been leaving Massachusetts for my entire life, moving to Florida, chasing better weather to play golf 12 months a year rather than 6, to chase a more favorable tax policy maybe. But the #1 demographic of out-migration in Massachusetts is the 25 to 40-year-old. That is dangerous for us losing these individuals, these young adults that are in the prime of their careers, leaving Massachusetts, because Massachusetts in many cases is not affordable, and it's not competitive, and in many cases it's inequitable. So thank you, Chancellor. I look forward to working with you and your team as always to make this as successful as possible, and stand ready to assist you in any way possible. Thank you all very much. Mr. Mayor, welcome to Durfee.
First of all, I do want to thank the Healy Driscoll administration and our tremendous state legislative delegation, obviously led by Senator Rodrigues. Representative Pat Haddad's joining us tonight. We have Representative Sylvia, Representative Fiola, Representative Schmidt. These people are hard-working people committed to their districts, and their districts include schools like Durfee. I spent a long, long time here, and this program that's being wheeled out today by my good friend Chancellor Cutler and the entire UMass system is going to be a tremendous, tremendous benefit for our students at Durfee High School. We already have Bristol Community College right up the street, but some people are looking for a 4-year school, and that's where they're going to end up. And with this program, it's now affordable for them, and it gives them the opportunity to pursue an education that we hope can be put to use in employment in our area. So as Senator Rodrigues said, we want to keep these people here. We want to keep them engaged, and we definitely want to keep them going to schools like UMass Dartmouth. As I said, I'm a graduate from that school, and it did me a world of good. And I appreciate everyone for coming out today, but I do have 2 other people that I'd like to say a few words. The present principal of Durfee High School, Principal Jess Stevens, she can talk directly about the impact that it's going to have on our kids this year. And then I'd like the superintendent to say something, and I'll introduce her in 1 second. Come on up, Jess.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for choosing Durfee High School to make this announcement. I think on behalf of our students and families, to say that this is going to make an incredible impact on so many truly would be an understatement. Durfee is really such a special place, and I think for those of us who are fortunate enough to spend so much of our time here, we really get to know the stories of our students and families, and we really come to understand not only what special young people our students are, but how much incredible potential they have to make our world a better one. I think coming to realize the barriers that exist relative to access in education is a very real thing, that when you see, you know, a world that we live in really taking actionable steps toward ensuring that these students and families have a true opportunity to grow and learn in a continuous way and really evolve into young adults and then adults who can make their mark and can contribute to this world in the most impactful and powerful way they can through education, is just a really special moment to be able to have. So I think for me, it's just incredibly special to be able to thank you all on behalf of our students, families, and community for taking this step together. So thank you.
But obviously, we were pleased when the Chancellor called us about doing the press conference here. And it is, because it's always special to let people see our special building, and all of our schools in Fall River are in very, very good shape, and we're working hard to make them better. The person driving that force is Superintendent of Schools, Tracy Curley. She worked with me a number of years at Durfee High School as an assistant principal, as a vice principal, and she's a Durfee grad. And she knows what's going on the ground, and I'd love to have her come up and say a few words, because I know how important this program is to her. Come on up, Trace.
So thank you all for being here, really for giving us this opportunity to welcome all of you in. It's been, just listening to the words that other people have offered. I just want to say that, I'm also a student from Fall River who would have, I'm someone who would have benefited from a program like this. And I was very lucky in growing up that I had, a guidance counselor who looked out for me. I had other people, individuals in my life who looked out for me. I think what Dr. Stevens said that's so remarkable about this is that, we're putting systems into place that don't make it necessary while we are every day trying to connect individually with our students. To see programs like this put into place that can really speak to the masses, that send a message to our students, that it's special to certainly to make a connection with a person or a small group of people at your school, but for students who now have an opportunity to know that it's not just about that singular connection that they may make, that there are hosts of people who are looking out for them, that there are programs in place that speak to the needs, the greater needs of so many students in our community is just huge. And I'm just so grateful, really, that you're extending this to students in our community and to students across the Commonwealth, because it's, despite all of the other programs, this is a really big one. It's a very special one, and we are so grateful. So thank you.
I just want to make sure everybody gives due credit to Chancellor Cutler and the entire Fuller. I'm sorry. I was thinking of the Cutler from Dire Straits. I'm sorry. No, but I do want to thank Chancellor Fuller and the entire UMass system for giving Fall River this opportunity, and even coming down here today to do this press announcement is important to a city like Fall River, and it's important to a school like Durfee. So I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. So I did just find out that Paul actually, like a true Corsair, did attend the football game last Friday, but he didn't let me know in advance. So I will extend that welcome. As he can attest, we have quite a football team on campus, and there's a lot of community spirit growing around that. So if you ever do want to stop in, please let me know, and I'll be happy to entertain you on campus. So that's all I believe that we have for the show, other than maybe some photo opportunities here towards the end. So thank you.
Can I just ask a couple questions?
You may.
Either Chancellor Fuller or maybe even Senator Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
What's the prospects of this being a long-term commitment?
Well, I think the ability for us to do this was predicated on a number of things that are in place. One is obviously long-standing Pell Grants that offer financial assistance to students that need it. And the second is really the Mass Grant and the Mass Grant Plus program, which really doubled down on that for, I think, many of the reasons that the senator alluded to, and the representatives have supported this. And so we're looking at, as long as those programs continue, we're committed to trying to do this for the long term. And I haven't heard anything that would indicate that those programs are not. And so it's really a combinational effort from our view of federal support, state support, and then university support that enables this to happen. Michael?
Education is the #1 priority of the Massachusetts State Legislature, and we're very, very proud that we are known nationally as having the best K-12 education system in the world. And that's a result of 3 things. One is the fact that Massachusetts has an inherently highly educated population to begin with, and they truly value education. Second is the amount of money that we invest in K-12 education in something called Chapter 70. I can tell you, as somebody who writes the budget, it's the 2nd largest line item in the state budget, Chapter 70. And third is the comprehensive systems of accountability that we hold our school systems to. But education does not stop at K-12. We have doubled down now in our higher education system. And we were able to do that because the voters in Massachusetts passed the so-called Fair Share Amendment, the millionaire's tax. That's a couple $2 billion a year of new revenue that's dedicated to education and to transportation. two of the most pressing needs in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So we've been able to invest significant new resources in the Mass Grant and the Mass Grant Plus program, and with the creativity of Chancellor Fuller and his team and the teams at UMass and the teams in our community colleges, we've been able to morph that into the ability to provide students with tuition-free education. And the third pillar, something that Representative Haddad has worked her entire career on, is early education and care. We are committed to ensure that every 3 to 5-year-old student in Massachusetts has full, free early education and care. That's a challenge for a couple reasons. Money is really not one of them because of the revenue that we have. We don't have enough early educators to provide that service. So we are working with our community colleges and our public higher education institutions to create a new batch of early educators to provide that service. And second is simple capacity. We don't have enough classroom space, but that we will grow into that. So we will continue to keep education as the #1 priority as we write the budget in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.